Welcome back to my channel, and for any of you who are new, welcome. This particular video is going to be about financial abundance. And the specific topic is why money mindset matters. Really quickly, before we dive into it, if you haven't subscribed, then hit the subscribe button down below. And if you press the bell and you hit all notifications, you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So the law of attraction is something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I've only really started. As much as I have spoken a lot about positivity, especially on TikTok, for any of you who follow me on TikTok, as much as I've spoken a lot about positivity, I haven't spoken so much about law of attraction, even though it's something that I practice really regularly, and I often practice so many of the techniques. But this particular video is less about attraction and more about the more tangible areas of money mindset. So this might be especially helpful for those of you who have sort of maybe thought, law of attraction might not be for me, or I really don't understand how this works. How can I really be convinced? This will give you some reasons as to why, aside from law of attraction, as to why mindset matters. So let's jump in. Here are some reasons why your mindset around money matters. 1, we get what we focus on. You might have heard about this before. So there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. It's spoken about a lot in personal development, and it's called the RAS for short. And the reticular activating system is the part of the brain that sort of brings forward what we're focusing on. So let's say we've been thinking about, oh my goodness, let me think. Let's say we've been thinking about dogs. You might suddenly realize that everywhere you look, you see dogs. And it's not necessarily because there are more dogs, it's just because it's something that you've been thinking about. And so your brain, because there is so much information, you would be totally overwhelmed if your brain was to take in all of the information that there is. So instead, your brain takes in the information that you focus on. So if you've been thinking about dogs and you've been thinking about it quite a lot, suddenly you start to see dogs everywhere you go, and it's because your mind is picking out those details. And so if you're focused on the concept of lack of money, lack of abundance, then you start to see lack everywhere you go. And that doesn't mean that there isn't lack of money in your life. Of course there may well be, and of course that can be difficult, and I know well the difficulties of what that is like when you are in that place of lack. But if you are focused on the concept of lack, you're more likely to see the lack, and you're less likely to see the possibilities and the ways that you might be able to improve that, because you're focused on lack rather than focused on abundance. 2, we are less comfortable with what is unfamiliar. And you might think that there is no way that you would ever repel money, that you would ever reject money. But if having a certain amount of money is outside of your comfort zone, you might be surprised to hear that actually you may well reject it. Even from my own personal experience, I know that, when I was looking to earn, I realised that I actually had a block. I actually had fear surrounding earning money, surrounding people paying me. And I probably made decisions that led me to turn down opportunities that would have actually allowed me to earn. Because I thought they wouldn't accept my prices, because I told myself that I wasn't ready. That was a huge one. I told myself, this isn't a good time. Now is not a good time. I'm not ready to do this right now. Or I convinced myself that this wasn't something that I actually wanted to do. I told myself that it wasn't the perfect fit, and maybe that was true, but there were definitely times when it might have been, but I told myself that because I actually didn't feel ready, and I was actually afraid of that concept of earning money and actually having to stand up and claim my worth and actually tell anybody my prices, any prices. And 3, we look for confirmation of what we believe to be true. And your beliefs affect your actions. Imagine this scenario. You see an advert for a job, and this is your dream job, and it would potentially pay you twice your previous salary. But your belief is that you would not get that job because it's so much more money than you have ever earned before, and because, maybe it's a managerial position and you've never been a manager before, and maybe you have all of the skills to do that, and maybe that would be your next step up, but because you've never done it before, you believe that they would reject you, and you believe that you couldn't do it. And because that is your belief, you don't apply. And if you don't apply to it, you're not going to get it. So our beliefs play a huge role in the actions that we take, and therefore the reality that we create around us. So just to really quickly talk about a couple of the techniques that could be considered law of attraction techniques, but also mindset techniques that you might be able to use and that might help you, and why they will logically help you, aside from the law of attraction, why they would help you in terms of mindset. So the first one is visualization. This helps us to focus positively on what we want. We're seeing the outcome in our mind and we're focusing positively. Now, why does it matter? Why does focusing positively make a difference? Well, if you're focused negatively, then you're thinking about doubt, you're in a place of fear, and if you're in a place of doubt and fear, then you are less likely to take those actions, the actions that will actually lead to those particular end results. And another reason why visualization is helpful is because you're also familiarizing yourself. So that goes back to what we were talking about before, about your comfort zone and making something feel more familiar. So as you make something feel more familiar to you, you are more likely to have less fear when it comes to moving towards it. And the second technique is affirmations. When our mind is clear, visualizations can actually be a way of almost resetting our mind. When we clear our mind with meditation, visualizations are a way of almost starting again and starting in with those positive thoughts and those positive beliefs. And this is really important because, again, we take action on what we believe to be true. So if we've visualized something enough and we've got ourselves to a place where we actually believe that this is possible, we are, again, much more likely to take that action that will lead us to create that in our lives. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's probably quite different to what I've created before, but it is something that I have really, really wanted to talk about. I hope this has been of interest to some of you, and I'd love to know what you think in the comments. If you're not subscribed, then please hit the subscribe button down below. I leave my Instagram handle down there as well. And again, I'd love to know if you'd like to see more of this type of content. It is something that I'm really passionate about talking about. I would really love to know how you feel about it. I'd love to know your opinions. So again, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.